Welcome to Callie's Take. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you can get the newest content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. You know, when I speak about Marcus Morris, I speak about somebody that I think, or at least I thought at one time, was a very good, good two-way player. He still is a pretty decent two-way player, and he does make up for, when Kawhi or PG is out, he does make up for some of their scoring when he is on, when his jump shot is falling. When his jump shot isn't falling, of course, he can't do it then. But when his jump shot is falling, he definitely can make up for some of the scoring that one of those players do. He can't put up 30 points like Kawhi or somebody like that can, or maybe like Paul George can, but he can put up, 20 to 23 points in a game. And as long as others around chip in, the Clippers can still possibly win a game, with Marcus Morris playing well. But, I was reading Clipperholics.com and a few other sites. And, really you have to ask, they pose the question, has it come, has his time over with? Is his time over with in Clipper land? Is it done? Is it over for him? Is it come to an end, or has it come to an end? And, me personally, I've been said that that's probably the person that they're going to trade. And that's probably the one that they need to trade more so than anybody else on the team. And, I can understand if you disagree or anything like that, but at the same time, they gave him $60 million and they haven't really they haven't felt like they gotten the best out of Marcus Morris since they gave him that $60 million contract a couple seasons ago, because Marcus Morris has been one of the most inconsistent over the last couple to a few seasons. He's been one of the most inconsistent players, on the Clippers. Maybe some could say Paul George at one point, but Marcus Morris might have been the most inconsistent player that they had on their roster at one point, simply because he couldn't. He can score some games, and then on top of that, his defense will lag at times. And then, you look at it some games this year, his defense does lag some, but for the most part this year, I feel like he's played pretty solid, but I feel like his time definitely might have ran his course with the Clippers, because they're definitely looking at other options. They're definitely looking elsewhere, and they definitely are trying to, or considering another piece. And, if they're going to do that, Marcus Morris has been a name on the trading block, for the last couple seasons, if you ask me. And his inconsistency has been an issue with a lot of Clippers fans. And I know the front office has seen it. And then, what really struck me about Marcus Morris, he was supposed to be the third guy, the third leading scorer for the Clippers. And then all of a sudden, he never really became that. And then all of a sudden, Reggie Jackson comes on the team and he takes over that third scoring spot. At least last year he did, or not last year, year before Kawhi got hurt. He had took over that spot, and he took over pretty thoroughly. And he wasn't even on the Clippers as long, or, as much as Marcus Morris was. And that really kind of shook me with Marcus Morris a little bit, because I looked at it then, I said, they got to trade Marcus Morris, because if he's getting paid $60 million, he's getting paid to be the third best guy on a team. He's getting paid like a third best guy would be getting paid. A 65, it's a 70 something $million contract, something like that, 60, 70 million. And that's what he's getting. And he's not the third best player on that team. Most can argue, maybe Reggie Jackson. Hell, now you could say Norman Powell. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, but even before you get to Marcus Morris, some people actually might say, maybe Luke Kennard, because Luke Kennard, what he showed last year when, Kawhi and PG was out. He showed he had some leadership skills, at least in regards to on the floor. He played very well last year. The fact that even though they were shorthanded all season, a lot of those comebacks they had was due to him. Terrence Mann, it was due to everybody on the team, but, he was one of the main leading scorers in a lot of those comebacks they had. So, this is what I'm saying. My point is, Marcus Morris is getting paid money to be a third guy, the third leading scorer on the team, but he hasn't played up to that level when they needed him most. And that's the reason why I think the Clippers really look at him as somebody that they might actually want to look into moving, along with maybe maybe one of the other younger guys on the team or something like that, because he would be a good a good prospect to move. I mean, he's shooting pretty good from the 3-point range once again. I think he's around 38-39%, once again, so he definitely can help a team out in regards to giving them a different edge, different level of scoring. And a lot of teams would take him right now, of course, but I don't know how that's gonna go if they were to trade him, or who they would trade him to. I mean, like I said, you heard me make a video here a couple of days ago about Jakob Poeltl, on the Spurs and everything. I don't know if that would be enough for the Spurs to take Marcus Morris, but I mean, I think that would be a decent trade. If that's the trade if that's the trade they're looking into, maybe a Marcus Morris and maybe like somebody off the bench, for Jakob Poeltl. I mean, maybe the Spurs would actually go with that. You know what I'm saying? I think the Clippers would definitely, probably go with that trade as well. Because, as I said before, they're paying Marcus Morris money that he's really not living up to. And you got guys on the roster making less money, like a Reggie Jackson, who is really like their third leading scorer, if you ask me. Because when they get in trouble, when Reggie get to cooking, I mean, it's like, if he starts to cook with Kawhi and PG, they're really unstoppable then, because if you have Norman Powell coming off the bench dropping numbers like he can, with those three players doing their thing, and you add in or you chip in maybe, John Wall some when he gets minutes, and Nicholas Batum, and a few other players, stuff like that. Of course, Luke Kennard when he comes in there along with Terrence Mann. I mean, really, that would be all they need. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like Marcus Morris becomes obsolete at some point, even though his scoring is more effective and warranted when Kawhi and or PG isn't there. That's when he's most effective then, because he has more of the floor, he has more of the spacing, and he has more of the green light, and that benefits him a lot more. But I mean, as far as when Kawhi and PG is there, when they need him most in big playoff games, he hasn't really showed up. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's what the Clippers are looking at. What does he do in the moments that really count, rather than just moments in the regular season that doesn't make a damn, because nobody's watching the game on TV, or not everybody can see it because it's not a national televised game. You see what I'm saying, or something like that. So I definitely think it's definitely coming near to an end for Marcus Morris, and I definitely wouldn't be surprised if he's traded here soon, or maybe by All-Star break or something like that, or, whatever the case may be. Because like I said, I just think that his name has popped up too much into that equation. And at some point, reality is just going to hit the Clippers, where they probably going to say, well, let's go ahead and pull the trigger on him if we can get somebody like Jakob Poeltl from the Spurs, if they're willing to go through with it. Because now you're getting a big man with more skill who can back up Zubac, and you already got enough wings. I mean, hell, you got more wing players than any other team in the NBA. So, I mean, losing a wing player in Marcus Morris, I mean, it's not going to hurt you but so much, because honestly, if you let him go and get somebody like a Jakob Poeltl, that'll open up more room for Robert Covington to get more playing time, which I think he should be getting more playing time anyway, because he's way more athletic. And on top of that, he plays defense a lot better than Marcus Morris does at this point in his career. And he can knock down a 3-point shot as well. So, I definitely think they should be trying to get him some more minutes. The only way that might happen, though, is if Marcus Morris is out the way. And that's the reason why I think the considerations of, his name being thrown out there in regards to trades is very, very high, because they really want to see more Robert Covington, I believe, because remember, they traded Norman Powell and Robert Covington to bring him to the Clippers. So they definitely want to see both of those players out there. It's just that Marcus Morris might stunt his growth a little bit, because, Marcus Morris is more acclimated with the offense and everything. He's more used to the culture. And on top of that, he's one of the leaders in the locker room probably. So, in order for that to really transpire for, Robert Covington to get more minutes, they might have to trade Marcus Morris. So that's the reason why I think that that might be the notion, and that might be what they go with, so they can, get Robert Covington on the floor more, because he'll definitely make up for what Marcus Morris does, and maybe plus more, especially when it comes to the defensive end. He can't score as much as Marcus Morris, but we don't really, as the Clippers, they're probably saying we really don't need that. We got scoring from everywhere. We got scoring from too many places. We got guys complaining they're not getting enough minutes to play. So, we got scoring from everywhere. So it's like, at some point they need more lockdown defense, and they need somebody a little bit more dependable. And I think Robert Covington, he may not be as dependable scoring wise, but he's definitely 100% dependable on that defensive end every single night. And like I said, players that what you're getting out of them every single night, that definitely makes you sleep better at night as a coach, and it makes you feel a lot better about what you have going into any battle or any situation that you might face in the future in regards to any competitive team you might play. So let's just see how it plays out and everything. But I definitely feel that if they're going to make a trade, Marcus Morris might be the name that you hear. So definitely don't be surprised by it. But hey, this is my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check my other videos if you haven't. And hey, till next time.